Hey guys, so for tonight's video, I'm going to be talking about some paranormal events that have taken place over the past few months with me and my family. And this is going to be more of a serious video and kind of deals with some personal stuff. I know some people kind of find it disrespectful, but I'm not really trying to be disrespectful or talk bad or anything like that. I just wanted to share some of the experiences that I've had, and I thought I would film outside since it is spring now and it's beautiful out, and I think tomorrow it's supposed to rain or something, so I wanted to get in this video while I could. That I would never in a million years make up anything that I tell you guys in my videos that I said I've experienced. If I have said that I have experienced it, then I'm telling the truth, and you can take that however you would like. But I would never BS you guys, okay? This started a couple of years ago. My dad said that he fell asleep on our couch, and he was in this dreamlike state. And he had something like a voice come to him in his sleep. And it told him that my grandfather had liver cancer. And this kind of freaked him out whenever he heard this voice. This was about 1-2 years ago, probably 2 or a little bit more than that. And he had actually told my grandfather about this incident, this dream that he had. And he just kind of shrugged it off, said he wasn't worried about it. And my dad believed at the time, and even now, he believes that that was a premonition of something that was about to come. Summer or so, I think my grandfather was outside, mowing the grass or something, and we have a big hill behind our house. And he said out of nowhere there was this strange mist-like fog, and it just kind of shot, traveled up the hill and disappeared. And it was right in front of his face. He is a Christian man, so I don't really know if he fully is into the paranormal stuff. I don't think he's into the paranormal stuff, but obviously he believes in an afterlife and spirits and stuff like that. So even he thought that that was a little bit odd because he couldn't explain it. It was literally just a few months before all this happened. He kept being woken up to the sound of someone knocking on his back door. And I don't know if you guys remember or not, I made a video on death omens last year for Vlogtober. I believe that one of the death omens was, hearing knocking on your back door. And every time he would check, there was nobody there. So could that have been a premonition or a sign that something was about to happen? Now, there for a long time, I was having a feeling come over me. Anytime we would do something with my papa, I was having a feeling come over me that I needed to appreciate him while he was there. I just had a bad feeling in my gut that something wasn't right, something was about to happen, and I couldn't put my finger on what exactly it was, but I had a bad feeling. And the thing is, I've always been told that I'm spiritually gifted. I'm not saying that I'm psychic, but I do feel like I do have some psychic abilities, and I believe everybody does if they tune into it, But I never really know, what it's trying to tell me in that moment until after it happens, and then it, all comes to me. And I believe it was last year he was having some problems with his heart. And so, they brought him in. I think he had an AFib, I think that's what it's called. They had put that in his chest or whatever and thought that was a problem. You think that by him going in there, they could have told at the time that something was wrong because they're doctors, you know what I'm saying? They hadn't found anything at that point. They thought, it's just heart problems. One day, before my papa was getting ready to go in to get his gallbladder removed because he had some pains in his stomach. This was coming on for a couple of months before he could barely eat anything, go outside, anything. He was in so much pain. And they figured it was his gallbladder, so he was gonna go in to get it removed. The day right before that incident, me and my dad went for a walk. And as we're walking, we're sitting there talking about my papa and how we felt bad for him. And I thought this might have just been like a scary, intrusive thought or something. Like, I didn't know what it was trying to tell me at first. And I had like this vision come into my head, and it's really scary, you guys. I had a vision come into my head that of my pawpaw in a casket. Like, I could see him in a casket. And I thought, that's really scary, Melanie. Don't think like that. Like, I thought I was just having a really scary, intrusive thought. The next day, he goes in to get his gallbladder removed. And I woke up. My dad's on the phone and he's crying, talking to my grandmother. And I'm like, what happened? Once he gets off the phone, he tells me they found cancer in his stomach. Within 28 days, that's how long it took. It was on April 1st when he found out. Within 28 days, it progressed and got worse. And he had actually looked me in the eyes and told me, before he passed away, he said, if anything ever happens to me, I'm gonna keep an eye on you. There was one day he had been taken into the hospice house. We had visited him. We had a really bad feeling about that day. And that night, me and my dad drove to the store. We had to get some drinks because we didn't have anything. And we get a call from my cousin. And she had let my dad know that he had passed away. In that moment, we're at the store, we're outside, we're getting ready to walk in, and I asked the universe in my head, I said, okay, if he made it to heaven, can you let me see a blue butterfly? We walked into the store, I forgot all about it, we got what we needed to get. It was like something made me turn my head. I looked over, and on this random book that's sitting right there, there is this giant blue butterfly. And I looked at my dad and I was like, oh my God, look, like I had goosebumps come all over me. I told him what I had done. And from that moment on, I had been seeing like little white orbs, little white lights, like out of the corner of my eye, like all around me. And there was one night I was sitting over at my grandmother's house, and I was talking with her and my cousin and his wife and my dad. And out of the corner of my eye, I seen this white streak of light. It was like really close to my face. I mean, it was like right here. It shot past my face. And then like a second later, sitting right behind my grandmother in the reclining chair, I seen my papa standing right behind her. I know you guys are going to think I'm nuts, but I really can see things that sometimes other people can't really see. And that's the reason why I think my dad always told me that I was spiritually gifted. And I know what I saw. I know I'm not like going crazy. The day of this funeral, I had actually seen a white light, a big white light, right in the church where they were actually having the service. And me and my dad, when we were on our way home, we were talking about how, you know, he loved to go hunting and fishing, and that was his thing. And we were talking about how that Luke Bryan song reminded us of Papa. We're on our way home, the radio's on, and guess what song starts playing? The Huntin', Fishin', and Lovin' by Luke Bryan. And I'm like, that was definitely Papa. There's just so much that's happened, so I'm sorry if this is kind of like all over the place. As we were at the church, my aunt was saying something about how the seat in her truck, it kept like malfunctioning, and it was like going down by itself, like she wasn't touching it. And me and my dad are just looking at each other like, oh my God, because like we felt as though that was maybe him. That evening we went out to go get something to eat, try to get our mind off of things. We didn't want to be here because for as long as I've lived here, and I've lived here all my life, my grandparents have lived right beside me. So we wanted to go get our mind off of things for a little bit. And we went to go eat at Subway. We were sitting at the table. We're talking about my papa and how much we missed him. And I said, it feels like a piece of my heart is missing. Like it was taken away with him whenever he left. Out of the corner of my eye, it was so clear. It was like he was sitting right beside me. but it also felt like a dream. Like, it didn't feel like real life. I don't know if you guys have ever had paranormal experiences like that where you've seen an apparition and you couldn't really pinpoint if it was real life or if you were imagining it. That's kind of how it felt. Like, it felt like I was dreaming, but I know what I saw, if that makes any sense at all. I seen him clear as day sitting in the seat right beside me, and he kind of had like a grin on his face. That night we were having water problems. I believe our water pressure was like messed up or something, so I said I'll go take a shower over at my grandmother's house, and so that's what I did. So I'm taking a shower, no one else is in the bathroom. My dad's in the living room waiting for me to get done, and no one else is there but us. I felt as though someone took their hand on my shoulder and kind of like patted me or tapped me on the shoulder. And I looked around, there's nothing there. You know, like I said, I was the only one in the bathroom. It was over at their house. We've been staying the night over at my grandmother's house, you know, trying to help her out and stuff, just so she won't be lonely and she won't grieve or nothing like that. And my dad has a cell phone, and he had it turned off, and he said he was over at their house one morning. He was like, he had just got up, wasn't touching his cell phone at all. When out of nowhere, this song by Five Finger Death Punch starts playing. And it's a song called Gone Away, and it's talking about someone who has passed on, someone who's, you know, went to heaven. And if you guys haven't heard this song, I definitely suggest listening to it. It's a really good song. Then there was one morning, I was asleep over there. I had just woke up actually. I was laying in her bed, and no one else was in the room with me. My grandmother was in like another part of the house. It's just me and her. And it felt as though someone took their hand. And you know when someone like, these birds are so noisy, I'm sorry. You know, they take their hand through your hair and they kind of like pet your hair a little bit. It was almost as if someone was taking their hand and kind of like gently petting the back of my head and my ear. I thought, okay, maybe it's a bug. There's a bug in there, but it was nowhere near my head. So, I mean, I looked around, there's nothing there. I think that all of these signs are signs that he's still here, because he did tell me that he was going to keep an eye on me. And I believe every word that he said. And I don't think it's just me, I think it's my entire family. That was all of the paranormal experiences. But yeah, I want you guys to know I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all by making this video. It's just that all the stuff that's happened, and it happened within such a short amount of time, and it just really shocked us all, you know. And I definitely believe that this is something like supernatural. All this stuff that's happening, I don't think it's coincidence. I think that it all happened the way it was supposed to, as sad as that was. I wanted to share with you guys, because you guys know that I love sharing my stories with you, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all. I'm not making any of this stuff up. I'm being 100% truthful about it all. Let me know what you guys think. It's him, you know, and it's kind of comforting to know that he's still here, and he's not like fully gone to where I'll never be able to see him again. Like, he's still here in spirit, and I can feel it in my heart as well. And I'll see you guys in my next video.